we got the full moon entering Sagittarius at the moment. We got the full moon making its rotation, spinning blocks, looking for targets. And of course, when it comes to targets, these could be good targets or bad targets. Now, bad targets would be targets that's unfulfilled when it comes to these strawberry supermoons. The good targets is spirits and strawberries that's fulfilled with all its fruitations, which means you can just grab the strawberry right off the tree. And that takes us into this full moon constellation perspective. We got a few more degrees until it actually connects with that 23 angle. Now, when we're talking about the full moons is all about fulfillment. Now, when it comes to fulfillment, you must be fulfilled on the inside in order for you to be fulfilled on the outside. Because if the inside is not fulfilled and it's not in its position where it's in a satisfaction mode, then of course everything outside of you won't be satisfied. You'll be thinking you're happy with these things, but once these things are taken away from you and you don't have the right correspondence when it comes to your inner world and your inner passions and your inner awarenesses, then you will basically be in the unfulfilled. Now, when it comes to this full moon in Sagittarius, the Sagittarius exalts the moon. So that means you may go to the extremes. And going to the extremes during this time is not a smart decision or a smart move. Even though we still got at least a day and a half to basically get to the actual correspondence of the full moon, being that the degrees of the moon and the sun in Gemini got to match up with its fulfillments. This still puts you into situations which can be catastrophic, which we just had the moon being in Scorpio. So Scorpio represents rebirth, death, good or bad, transformation. So if you ain't go through a transformation within your 6th house, your 5th house, 4th house, 3rd house, 12th house, and all houses, if you ain't go through that transformation, you will be bringing those negative transformations within the fulfillment of the full moon. And of course, when you bring dirty water with new clean water, then this is basically you put you on the wrong side of the energies. And of course, once you're on the wrong side of the energies, this is how you get washed up with the energies that's in the sky with your natal alignments. And of course, when these two come together, and there's no form of balance, equilibrium when it comes to your side and the other coin, which is generality, then there's going to be a situation where you can basically, one, get taken out of this world, or two, someone will basically pay their representations to basically make their way up out of your life. And it's played out to the things that we all desire about, the things that we are basically trying to bring down here, and of course, so and beyond. Now, with this full moon being in Sagittarius, we're going to basically break down. So this is being fulfilled when it comes to your experiences, expanding on your experiences, and of course, looking at the bigger picture. Try not to basically go to the extremes on this time, because you will. Yeah, when it comes to the full moons is just representations of what you did throughout this 30-day process, when the moon was waxing, waning, waxing, and of course, this is the time where you need to basically rearrange your life, see where you got these planets at, and of course, these areas at in your charts. And of course, when you're doing that, you're following alignments, and you're creating your alignments, and things will start to actually make its way towards you. And we are in the process of building 12 seasons. So when it comes to Aries season, this is all about yourself, making sure you're getting selfish during this time. When it comes to Taurus season, this is all about realizing your selfishness, but also coming to a realization of material resources, starting to build with what you've been working on within yourself. Then once you get to that correspondence, everybody gonna be able to actually share ideas, talk about things that they want to be aware of, or start to build. Now, once we get into that season, we're sharing ideas. Of course, we're being aware of our environments and our surroundings and shit. Feel me? That's the grass, the trees, all that stuff. Being aware of these things, and we starting to basically, make our way in that perspective. Now, the moon is most powerful. This is the time where you build that home. Make sure your home, your temple, your Shaolin, is basically, strong enough where you can basically nurture, care for it, protect it, keep it nourished. So this is the areas where you can start basically bringing your children within your life. Down here, this is some representations of mom and dad. When we're talking about these Cancer energies, or family, home, privacy. Now, when we get to that perspective, we're going to be setting the stage, which is Leo, expression, creativity, talents, gifts. And then after that, we're going to have to come up with a routine for these things. Now we're realizing these things, and of course, this is what we're doing every day now. Then, of course, once we get to that portion, we're going to be able to actually relate this Libra, balance, relatability, looking at the equilibrium on both scales and both ends and seeing how to do things where we can collaborate together. And after that, we're going to basically get into some desires, get deep, get transformated, sex, desires, power, control. Then we're going to basically see our lower animalistic natures, and of course we're going to be looking at the bigger picture. Sagittarius is going to be basically expanding our wisdom, our knowledge, looking towards the stars. After that, we're going to create a status. We're going to create a star, a business, a goal for that perspective, that reputation. And after that, we're going to basically come with our groups, our associations, and we're going to basically associate where we are, represent Satan, and we're going to come together, put that into a world, and we're going to basically dream it when they get into Pisces, which is dreams, imaginations, fantasies, illusions. Then these dreams must keep expanding because Jupiter's ruled here as well. And we do the same thing again, whether we down here or whether we go into another world. That's how I play on a day-to-day basis. Every time don't stop for nobody. But now we're going to basically get into the houses of where you got Sagittarius and we're going to break that bitch down, piece by piece. Now, when it comes to the full moon and Sagittarius within your first house, this is bringing big experiences that's going to bring strawberries, fulfillment, and prosperity within your first house, your personal life, your personal persona. Now, if you're planting bad seeds, and of course you was reacting to responding to the wrong things, you're going to be placed into situations of dealing with parasites in your fruits, worms in your fruits, having nasty fruits, nasty strawberries, and things of that perspective. Or your personal life is just going to personally appear that way. You're just going to personally appear very dirty during this time, or very, in a situation where you're too extreme, but the sun is still opposing you at this time. So that means your personal life can get opposed, or you can be the one that's opposing others during this time. Second house. Now, the things you value, the people, places, and things that you're valuing during this time, your reputation, your home, your family, the things that you have to present yourself when it comes to talents, gifts, material, and resources and shit like that. These things are going to be fulfilled with more strawberries, or these things are going to be fulfilled with more darkness, more negativity during this time, which means you're going to be unfulfilled when it comes to the things you value, or people, places, and things that value do during this time will be unfulfilling valuing you, bringing you bad fruit, bad strawberries, bad pineapples and shit like that. You don't want that shit. So make sure whatever you're valuing, if it's a cage, you separate from that shit real fast. Third house. This is being fulfilled when it comes to your thinking, communication, environment, surroundings. If people, places, and things within your environment, your surroundings start to place you into situations where you're feeling like you're in prison right now and there's no escape, then you planted bad seeds, or you're the one that's going to be playing out these energies. If you're planting good seeds, that means your environment is going to start to grow the right fruits, the right vegetables, the right strawberries, the right friends, the right thinking, the right communication, the right ideas of you sharing your ways of communicating with others during the time. It's going to be fulfilled experiences within your environment or your circumference. Now, when it comes to the fourth house, you're going to be placed into situations of experiences that brings fulfillment, dealing with home, family, privacies, or dealing with you finding that new home or that new location where you're going to bring comfortability within your life. Now you're going to be unfulfilled when it comes to your 10th house, status, businesses, careers, and things like that. If you planting bad seeds, feel me? Friends, you can be throwing shade on your status or your career or your reputation. That's going to be the opposite end during this time, so be aware of that. Now, 5th house, you're going to be fulfilled when it comes to your expression, your talents, your gifts, your romance, your hobbies, and things that you are bringing expressions, creativities, things that's bringing entertainment within your life. Now, if you are in the process of feeling bored, agitated, that means you're in a cage. And of course, this opposition is going to be your 11th house. Friends in the public or dealing with the unknown. These unknown individuals are going to bring that circumstance, situation that's going to bring that unfulfillment or fulfillment within your house, being in the 5th house. Now, when it comes to Sagittarius being in the 6th house, this is the learning process for you. So you're going to be basically learning about the experiences that bring fulfillment or unfulfillment within your work, health, routines, duties, and obligations and responsibilities. Now, if your health fucked up right now, then you, of course, you planting bad seeds. Feel me? Because that means you've been worrying about the wrong things, or you've been attracting manifestations of individuals that's in your work routine that's bringing worry and energy towards you. And of course, you got emotionally attached to these things, being that you're a Cancer ascendant. So you got to be aware of this, and you're gonna be learning how to detox and, of course, release all these fulfillments. Because remember, when we actually get to the real fulfillment of the full moon on Tuesday, which is in that 23-degree aspect, this thing is gonna burn you. So be aware of these things. So make sure you're in the process of. Now you ate the strawberry that had a parasite and things in that area. If you feeling real illish during this time, or you just have a whole lot of burdens, or emotionally during this time. Now you need a detox and just chill out, get some hot tea for me. You'll be alright. Now, watch out for your dreams, imaginations, and fantasies. You may dream about your friends or things that's in your environment that may basically throw you off. Now, be aware of these things that you're attached to in your environment. That's going to be their correspondence of the areas that you need to take. Now, 7th house, you're gonna be experiencing opportunities that can bring fulfillment or unfulfillment during the time when it comes to your relationships, how you relate towards other people, places, and things, and how you communicate with them. Now look at the bigger picture when it comes to your relationships during the time. If you feel smothered and the individual is not basically trying to expand when it comes to experiences with you, then of course you already found your answers, and that's within you. Separate, or you want to continue building frustrations with these individuals, that's up to you. But with that moon in the Capricorn, you're going to basically realize the transformation aspects of that area. Now your 8th house, if you got this in your 8th house, this is experiences of fulfillment when it comes to your deep desires, deep passions, deep anchors, deep aggressions, deep motivations, or deep things that's in the dark. You're going to be fulfilled when it comes to your 8th house, your desires, your pleasures, things that you have a deeper connection with. These things are going to be fulfilled, good or bad. Now, bad would basically be situations where you overindulge towards jealousy, sex, greed, and things of that matter. You don't pretty much do this. Now, if you feel jealous or if you feel down during the time, then you're planting bad seeds. And you're down there with the bad fruits and the bad ringworms and shit. You don't want to be down there too long. Make sure you start, reminiscence and cleaning that area up ASAP. No rocky. Now, if you got to see your 9th house, you can be placed into a situation of having fulfillment when it comes to extreme experiences dealing with your meanings, your purposes, your beliefs, your foundations, your higher awareness, your higher education, your higher wisdom and knowledge, and the way you express yourself and come across. Now, what can basically throw you off and oppose you during this time can be the people, places, and things that's in your environment, your friends, your surroundings, and shit that may basically try to shade you off or throw you off during this time. If you allow them to throw you off or shade you off, then of course you plant the bad seeds, but you ain't got that spiritual strength. You ain't got no belief. I mean, your spaceship is not really falling out a little. Now, if you got Sagittarius in your 10th house, you're going to be placed into situations of dealing with some ups and downs, because you're a mutable ascendant sign, which is Pisces. So this places you into situations of having opportunities that's going to bring learning aspects and fulfillments when it comes to your status, your career, goals, businesses, and how you conduct yourself when it comes to the public, and how you're seen towards the world, and how you basically cooperate with others. Now, what can pretty much throw you off here is your reputation and what you're known for during this time. If these things is good or bad, these things can kind of trick you, because you can be based in situations of having mutable emotional perspectives. But you know, if you planted the right seeds, if your reputation and what you're known for is pretty much in the process of expanding, being fulfilled, and you not be placed in situations of being smothered with these things, you could be able to freely expand your reputation and your experiences, and of course put that rep out there, and of course be known for your purposes, your beliefs, and your moralities and shit like that. And that's how it's gonna play out. Now what's gonna throw you off is gonna be your home, your family, your friends, or the people, places, and things that you call home and family during this time. Watch these folks, feel me? Because if you in a situation where these individuals are not always shading and shit, throwing you off or throwing obstacles, that's gonna be the area where that come from. Now, if you got this in your 11th house, you're gonna be placed in situations of dealing with opportunities of experiences that's gonna come out in the public towards you, dealing with your friends, associations, your jobs, your groups, internships and shit like that, or organizations or friends. Be aware of these individuals on the sign. You're either gonna be expanding with your associations and the things you associate yourself with, or it's gonna be being unfulfilled when it comes to your associations, which means these individuals is basically just here to use you and shit during this time. So try not to pretty much do too much of that. Also, what's gonna pretty much throw you off and oppose you could be your romance, your love affairs, your relationships, how you express yourself with other individuals and shit like that. Feel me? Fun, your activities and shit. That's gonna kind of like your friends and people, places, and things that's in your surroundings can kind of like throw this off or temperament it. So be aware of that. And last but not least, if you got Sagittarius in your 12th house, this is going to be a learning aspect for you, but also a gift. So that means you're going to be learning about the gifts that comes within your dreams, your subconscious, your emotional stances, your imaginations, your fantasies, your illusions. You're going to be learning about all these dreams and how they correlate with your day-to-day aspect. Because friends that you deal with every day, that you talk to every day, that you have within your routine, these individuals can be throwing you off for the good or the bad. Feel me? Now, you be aware of these individuals. Feel me? That's going to bring out obstacles, or your health or your worrying issues can pretty much throw off your dreams and shit, which makes you go to sleep in a harmful air manner, which you're going to be dreaming about them harmful things that can bring catastrophic events.